You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
To fly the open skies in armored safety, raining high explosive ordnance upon ignorant savages.
Hello and welcome to the 541st edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a face. A Fallout face. Tonight we've got Ray. What's up, Ray?
Andrew.
What's going on? We're doing a private strip tease for Solior tonight, right? That's what we're getting into. Little sexy show, little va-va-va-vu musique.
Yeah. So, silly Jess left us unchaperoned.
Left the monkeys and the, what's the phrase? Running the jailhouse? No, something like that. I don't remember.
The lunatics running the asylum?
Yeah, it's us, right? But we're monkeys in a jailhouse.
Yep.
And we're running it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Fashnacht, right?
Yeah, she's off at the real live actual Fashnacht.
When does stuff really? Does it happen like all weekend, or is it really just on Saturday that stuff happens, or is it? I don't really know. Do you know anything about the actual event?
I'm not sure what they're doing. I believe that originally they would just have their parade on Fat Tuesday.
Oh, do they actually do it on Tuesday then? Huh.
Yeah, because it's
Mardi
the same
Gras.
as Mardi Gras.
Right.
It's just, Swiss Mardi Gras, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that they would, now that it's become a thing with Fallout people showing up, I would imagine that there's probably more focus on the weekend.
I did not even think about that. So, was it last Tuesday or is it next Tuesday?
This coming Tuesday,
this
the 17th?
Tuesday? Okay. Gosh, that's interesting. I wonder if people stick around until Tuesday to actually do the parade and stuff. I'd never even thought about that. Cool. Guys, hey, on the show tonight, we'll be talking about some Fashnacht preview a little bit in regards to Jess and her fun road trip. But really, Ray and I will be going over some gameplay here off the top of the show. Then it's a feedback episode. We are still in New Vegas. We are rolling up to the Nellis Air Force Base and speaking with the Boomers and doing all their side quests there. The little kid and the history and the raising the plane and the getting the guy and the girl together and the doctors and the ants, and there's probably about 3 more that I forgot too. But all sorts of stuff to do with the folks up there at Nellis. So we'll get into feedback from Will and Vanessa, Jeff, Dustin, Calm, and Nikki, the Shoveler, Lee, and Solior. I've also prepared a one-person game for Ray. We're going to play Mohappy Latchy. I'll quiz you a little bit here. I just thought it'd be fun to have a game time, see if we could do something here. And not a very large chunk, but maybe a small tin of iguana bits on our way out the door. So why don't we go ahead and roll right into it and say, hey, Ray, did you get a chance to play any video games this week, sir?
I did indeed.
What'd you play?
So, still playing the Skyrim Septimus mod, having fun with that. Playing around with a little bit different character now to try out some of the other functions of it.
Like what?
But,
what's it doing?
Well, just I wanted to see how viable it is to have a sneaky dagger character, because that's one of my favorites. but this is running a little bit different enemy mod, and so things are a tad bit on the tough side. So still trying to get that all worked out.
So what does it? How is this?
Well,
Like, what does it change?
It makes enemies tougher.
Okay.
And depending on where you're at, they're liable to be at a higher level than you.
Okay, that sucks.
And it's a when you're doing a sneak character, you're really counting on your sneak multiplier to
the 4 times
to make your
damage or
kill.
whatever. Or is it 10 times? Is it 10 times?
It can get up to that. Right now, I'm only 4 times. I think it starts off at 2 times.
And I was gonna say pugilist gloves, but that's like unarmed, I think. Is there a melee gloves or something? There's probably like enhanced melee or something. Is there some spell?
One-handed.
There you go.
Or,
one or two-handed.
Sneak attack.
I forgot. You guys get 2 hands in Skyrim.
Yeah. So the big thing is that No Man's Sky just had their first update of the year.
Oh.
And so we are on expedition, driving around trucks, collecting junk.
And this is one of the was there an emoticon or whatever? Was there a big mystery thing for a couple weeks or whatever this time?
Yeah, there was a reflective safety vest.
Okay.
Like the road crews use.
Okay. And so you said you are basically a space trucker? Is that what you said? You're delivering stuff?
Junk. Yeah, you're a junk man.
You
go and you collect junk, put it in the back of your truck, drive to a facility to recycle it.
Nice.
And
reduce, reuse,
away you go.
Of course. So do all of these things that you've been doing, all these expeditions, then after the expedition is complete, I know they have like replays of
at the end of the year they do them.
Does all of the things that you do in that expedition then remain in the game forever? Like it's always there, or it's only around during the expedition stuff?
Well, so some of the stuff. So you can typically what I do is I do expeditions with an existing character. So you go to the space anomaly. There's a little machine that you go to interact with that lets you join the expedition. So I join the expedition. Then as I go through the expedition, I'm collecting things and that I want to take back with me to normal space. So when you get done with the expedition,
so it's kind of like a separate game mode then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So some of the rewards that you earn, for doing the milestones, those end up available to all of your characters in all of your saves.
Wow.
Like outfits and different ship parts. And
well, that's pretty damn exciting. So you don't have to have like then a main character. Like in 76, you'd have to have a main character that you go and do all the stuff with, and then if you had to like do a weird season, you'd have like a side character or a mule character or whatever. But you're saying with No Man's Sky, if you earn something during the expeditions, it then therefore would apply to across all your characters, right?
Yeah,
you wouldn't have to like
so
collect I got the Santa blow mold sleigh plan on this one character. Now you don't have to mule it to other characters and stuff like that. You actually
exactly. Yeah,
that's
so
convenient.
As soon as you earn Santa on one character, you've got Santa on all your characters.
Take notes, 76. Actually, they do that with some stuff that if you buy stuff in the Atomic Shop, it's available for all your characters to build and stuff like that. But the plans and stuff you earn like that.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Have Having fun with No Man's Sky? Trucking? What are
So
you doing? You're
the
finding
name of the
crashed,
expedition-
finding wrecked ships? What are you doing?
No, you're looking for there's just junk laying around on the ground.
Was this junk that was always there before, and they activated and made
No.
use of it, or they just now they introduce more junk that's everywhere?
Yeah, now this is a new thing that's laying around littering the planets, and you go out and collect it.
Will it like auto spawn near your? I always want to call it a camp settlement.
Um,
Can you set up like a little farm to harvest it somehow?
you probably could, but it'd be kind of a waste. It takes a long time to respawn stuff.
Okay, so might as well just fly
So-
around and look for it.
Yeah, you're better on.
You get a
just looking
detector?
for it.
Get him like a junk detector, Ray, something.
No, but you do get
You
an
just see it.
anti-gravity gun.
Anti-gravity gun. So it just make stuff
Yeah.
float.
Yeah, so you can pick stuff up without having to walk all the way over to it.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but you can also use it to grab sentinels, the little bad guys in the
Yeah,
game.
those robots floating around.
Yeah, so you can grab them and then
Crash them into the
eject
wall.
them
Nice.
and shoot them against stuff.
That's great. Yeah. Ooh, grab two, crash them into each other. Boom. That's super sweet. It's like you're a Jedi or something. That's really fun.
Yeah, so that's been fun. I've been through it once, and now I'm doing it again on a new character just to try it out.
Well, why a different character? Is there different
Just
ways
for
to
the
attack
fun of
it?
just to be able to do it again. You can only do an expedition once per character.
Oh, so you do it with a different character. You can
So
do
if
it
you want to
again.
do it again, you have to do it with a different character.
I see. And would you? There aren't really character builds so much, right? Like, would you
No,
change the character somehow and do it, or you're just doing it again, same basic way?
yeah, so since I can't really do different character builds per se, typically what I'll do is just anytime there's a big update, I'll start a new character, just to see how the new changes to the game impact somebody starting a new character.
The beginning of the okay,
Yeah.
because you always
So-
start in the same place, right? With that ship. No.
No, I mean you start in the same situation, just not in the same place.
And what's the intro ship called? That red ship that you start with?
The Radiant Pillar.
Radiant Pillar. You always make me want to go play. No,
You should. It's fun.
I know. I
But
just
you should also play.
I
StarCraft.
load it and then I fly around and I like
Get frustrated because you don't know how to do anything.
it's been a couple years since I played it consistently, probably 7 now actually.
Yeah.
But I remembered, all sorts of fun stuff to do. All the loaded the card, but like I loaded it now and it's not the same game that it was 7 years ago. It doesn't seem
No,
like, you
not
know what I
even
mean?
close.
Like I'm like,
Not even close.
where am I? What am I? Like in Fallout is bad enough that where am I? What am I doing? But like when you load up in No Man's Sky, where am I? What am I doing? Oh my God, this is nothing like it used to be as well.
Yeah.
There's that added layer of, whoops, what happened?
Yeah, and depending on how long it's been, I mean, the planet you were on, could have changed. You could have
planet
had a
blew
base
up.
on this beautiful, paradise planet, and now it's a icy wasteland.
And does that just happen like randomly, or when
No,
on
that
what
happens-
circumstances would planets change?
When they do, really big updates, like when they changed the, when they added purple systems, there was a big impact.
You have to
There's-
remind me what
There's
purple
been a couple of
means.
different times, but yeah, at this point, you're better off just starting a brand new character.
Starting over.
Start up with the tutorial so that you can figure out how to
Get
do
the
it
catch
again,
up. Yep.
and just go like that. 'cause
Well, I did
that's,
the whole thing. I don't even remember what it's called, that like weird AI computer thing that you like. I ran through that whole
Yeah.
I guess it was the main quest. Is there?
Yeah.
Is it? It's kind of a strange structured game, so I don't. It's not really like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's definitely very, very weird as far as the way that the quest lines go.
Yeah.
They're very loose.
And Starfield too. I need as well.
Yeah. You need to get in space.
You need to go back to
Is an
space.
awesome place.
Space is an awesome. You doing any other stuff in space?
No, that's about it. Yeah. The only other thing is, watching Lakers games with my dad.
How's that going? How Lakers are they going to sign LeBron?
They play basketball quite a lot.
They dribble and go up and down the floor, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose.
And they play like every other day, so they're pretty much always on. Every third day. So, right. Well, go Lakers. So, how much longer are you in California?
That's a good question.
Good question. You don't even know anymore.
I don't.
Alrighty. Yeah, so thanks for your gameplay there, Ray. Mine will be pretty darn quick. I'm still playing Zelda Ocarina of Time, doing the deep playthrough on the 3DS for the the little handheld Nintendo unit. Sorry, folks, I've got a little bit of a cold this week, if you couldn't tell. So I've gotten to the point where there's a big change right about in the middle of the game, or maybe the first third of the game, where you start as a kid adventuring, and you have to battle these the three different sort of like castles or whatever. There's a water one, a fire one, and a woods one. But then you do this thing where you go through a Temple of Time, and you jump forward into the future 7 years where, oh no, the evil guy has now taken over and everything's all dark and scary now, and you have to go defeat him and win return the kingdom to whence it came, So you want to make everything nice, and it's just like a big jump in time, but it's really cool because anytime you go back to that Temple of Time, you can sort of go back and forth between being, the little kid version or the hero, the adult version. So you can go back and forth in time, and it's really fun because they have like little puzzles that you have to start when you're, a kid, but you don't have the tools to finish them yet. So that like 7 years in the future, you have to like complete those same quests and stuff but now with the added tools and knowledge that you have at that point. So it's really fun. I hadn't played this game in a good long while. It's legendary for all of the hype it gets, but it's kind of worth it because like I mentioned last week, it's probably a good thing that they don't try to go super realistic with graphics on Nintendo games. They keep them sort of cartoony. That keeps it more timeless, if that makes sense. You can't judge something on how good it looks if it always kind of looks cartoony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the graphics still hold up really
Borderlands
well.
games are kind of that way too.
Yeah.
You don't see a huge difference between the early game and the late game because they all use the same style of graphics.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo did a wise thing with that, cartoony a little bit. But so that it plays super smooth. It's just a really fun game to play. That one thing though, when you go back and forth from kid to adult, you still have all of the same utensils and tools in your bag, but they're just grayed out the ones you can't use depending on which age group you're in. But there are certain items that you can use for both old and young. And so I just thought it was funny. You can capture fairies in a bottle. Like you can collect a milk bottle, drink the milk, and then you have an empty bottle. You can catch fairies in the bottle so that when you in Zelda, a fairy will replenish your health. So if you catch it in a bottle, you can keep it on you without having to use it, and then when you die, it'll automatically deploy and then bring you back to life. So it's basically, you don't want to ever like lose your fairy in the bottle. Keep it in the bottle because it'll automatically deploy.
So do you have to rinse it out and dry it, or does
It's a
the
milk
just
fairy.
stick to
No,
the old milk?
She likes the rotten milk smell. She's a gross little fairy. Also, you can catch bugs in these bottles, and there's soft soil spots where when you're a kid you can plant the plant, and then when you're an adult you go back and it's a full-grown plant that the leaves will like carry you up, and you can get to places where you couldn't get before. And so I was just looking at my items this morning when I was flipping through stuff, and I noticed that the bugs in the bottle are an item that you can use as a kid and an adult. So I'm like, how are these bugs in my bottle still fucking alive after 7 years in the bottom of a jar? Like, they would be fucking dust by now. Like, there's no way these little
holes
bugs
in the top, right?
Oh, I'm not feeding them or anything. What? I guess they eat each other. Just have baby. Ew. No, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole.
Cannibal bugs.
Cannibal bugs eat their own young. Oh, gross. So yeah, I've been playing lots of fun with that. I'm what am I working on now? Oh, the Sacred Forest Temple. So I've gone through the adult transition. I'm going back down to the Sacred Forest Temple and running around in there. I've done most of the puzzles. Oh, they're such fun little puzzles, like push a block here to go down and then have to go up and around and push the backside of it and then come back around to the other side and pull it this way and then like go kill the thing and shoot the thing in the eye and then it drops a key and then you get the key, It's just all sorts of silly little... It's wonderful. I really like it. Having a great time playing that. Still sad I haven't played Wind Waker, but Mo said that he started up a Wind Waker character. Jump in on him and play some Wind Waker. So that's basically my gameplay. But one thing that is happening currently around the world, it's the Winter Olympics. So I actually wanted to ask Ray, if you were required to compete in some Winter Olympic event, which one do you think that you could be the most successful at? If you had to compete in some event, what would you aim for? What would you have an interest in any of them?
Well, yeah, interest. No. If I had to imagine, I think the probably the one that I would be most likely to succeed in would be curling.
Curling, interesting.
Because I'm fair at shuffleboard.
Okay, you think there's a lot of the same skills involved?
Yeah, very much. I never have tried bocce, so I don't know about that. But
yeah,
definitely
stuff.
Curling is about my speed.
Mm-hmm.
And my typical level of exertion. I wouldn't be a sweeper.
Yeah, I was gonna say those sweepers get fucking going, man. I'd be like, oh, you gotta have pumped arms to do that sweeping.
Yeah, no, I would definitely be the slider.
Yeah, it's like pull left, more less. I was like hearing the teams from other countries shout and the commands they use just because they sound really funny. It's just like whatever, I was watching USA and Switzerland the other day. Curling's pretty sweet. But on the Rich Eisen podcast yesterday, they were talking about curling, and they also made the comment after they were done saying, yeah, I think we could probably do this sport if they and then Rich at the end was just like, how badly did we piss off anyone who actually knows anything about curling? Like, if an Olympian curling heard us just talk right now, they'd be so insulted by the thing. Yeah. We think that we can, whatever, we can get out there with a broom and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They were talking to the president of the American Curling Association or something. A set of those stones starts at $15,000.
Oh, damn.
They're very specific stone from some island in Scotland or something like that. Like some very specific
surprising.
stone. Yeah. They start at $15,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were saying that there's curling clubs in every major American city and all that now. It's pretty popular, widespread sport. So
Yeah, I
Get
can
in
see
it, Ray.
But I'd want to be like in, marathon curling, where you work on a hockey rink,
Uh
and
huh.
so you're going the entire length of the, or even, if you could get on something even bigger, like a lake where
Just
you
a
have to
river.
slide it for 3 miles.
And still aim for a target, or just see how far you can
Yeah.
go. That'd be a good contest too, like sort of like shot put for curling, or like discus for curling. Do it
No.
for distance, or
Yeah, I'd still want a target.
Mhm.
It's got to be a challenge. So, but yeah, distance curling could be a good one too.
I was gonna say, if I had to guess for you, see, I don't know about the cross country skiing aspect.
Way too much work for me.
Yeah, but the biathlon where you get the rifle and you do target shooting, I was like, you'd probably be pretty good at the target shooting portion at least,
Yeah, the
right?
target shooting would be good.
I don't know. Do you know what kind of firearm they use? Do they use like a 22 rifle or something? I don't even know what they use.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably most most shooting competitions don't really use, they're not out there with 50 cals
Snipers.
shooting 2 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing like
Um,
army contests looking through a 10-mile shot.
yeah. Yeah, and as long as I only had to cross country ski, downhill to the target range,
If I just had to tuck and slide, I could make it.
I'd be solid.
I know there's no way I'd be good at it. I think it'd be fun to try the luge or the skeleton. Just the sledding events, that'd be pretty sweet, pretty scary.
I would die.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could go a little too fast on those.
Yeah, I'm a little on the weighty side, so
Zoom. Yeah. So that also makes me think, what like sort of fallout. What could you take from the Winter Olympics that would prepare you to live in the apocalypse, in the wasteland? Like, what of those events, which Olympians out of which of all those events has the highest chance of survival in the wasteland?
yeah,
Like
I would
hockey
say probably
players?
cross country skiers,
Okay.
speed skaters,
Endurance people?
yeah,
Agility and endurance?
somebody that could ski a long way or skate a long way really fast, would be able to avoid, raiders sitting along the bank of the river taking pot shots at you.
Cazadors on
death
ice.
claws jumping out. Yeah. So
Ooh, I want an icy wasteland. Get that game.
yeah, Anchorage.
We ever going to get an Anchorage game? Has there been an Anchorage game? Is there a DLC? There's a DLC in Anchorage, isn't there? Aren't we going there in a couple weeks or something?
Yeah, in
Is it New
Fallout
Vegas?
3.
Oh, okay. It's not New Vegas. Fallout 3.
No.
What is it? Operation Anchorage. Need to go play that again. All right, that's what we have for gameplay this week, you guys. So we have also gotten a good slew of feedback. So we'll go ahead and check in and see what our guys are doing. What's up?
We did get an update on Jess's gameplay.
Oh, we did. What is Jess's gameplay? What she got?
So she had that poker tournament that evidently she prevailed in.
She won the poker tournament.
Yeah.
Does she get pocket a bunch of cash and roll out of town?
It was a charity event.
Oh, boo. Come on, Jess.
And so she raised $1,300 for the
She and
bank.
her charity work, right? She's just always doing stuff, giving back to the communities, earning goodwill.
Do-gooder.
Golly. Well, I'm glad that she can use her position for good. Good job, Jess.
For sure.
Way to win. And I didn't know she was a card shark. I had no idea. Was she an online poker player? One of those things, you think?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, she's probably like a cutthroat.
And I don't know the the depth of the competition.
Right. It's like a bunch. I don't know how many of those dudes
So,
stare
I mean,
side
it's-
eye out of their sunglasses are there. Yeah. She's playing against children.
uh,
They were anteing up with cheese from the cheese house. Right. Good job, Jess. Good job earning what you said for a food bank, right?
Food
One for
bank, yep.
Good job. All right. Well, let's go ahead and check in with our feedback team. See what everyone's getting into.
We make feedback.
Up first, we'll check in with Mr. Solior here.
Hey all you cool cats and dolls, this is Ace Rockwell back with another report from my trips around the Mojave Wasteland. So, after my time in Zion, I figured I'd take some time and look around the Mojave, see how things have been since I've been gone. Also, check on everybody at the Lucky 38, see how everybody's doing there. Figured I'd also run around with Boone for a little bit. Maybe stretching his legs and seeing the sights would make him not so brooding. I swear, though, I had just entered Freeside when all of a sudden I see the crier for the Silver Rush get killed. And I hadn't just enough time to think what the hell is going on before I start getting shot at by the bouncer at the Silver Rush. Guess they weren't too happy with me turning stuff over to the NCR with Cass. Well, they're now on my shit list. So, I go to the Lucky 38, get Boone, and we go and clear out the Silver Rush. They're gonna attack me, then they're dead. So, that's the end of that. Well, so I thought. After killing everyone in the Silver Rush, Boone and I did some exploring. We went up and saw his friends at Bitter Springs. Thought maybe he would open up to me a little bit about what happened in his past, but unfortunately I'm still not so lucky. I did help them out with an issue, though. Somebody's been going around killing them in the night, so I found this great Khan in a cave and took him out for them. Not going to do too much to help the NCR, though, because one of these days here soon I'm going to have to go against them along with the Legion. For the most part, I like the NCR, though, so I'm not too thrilled about it, but if they're not going to help me out, then that's on them. Another thing I found while running around the Mojave is a crashed ship with some of the Bright followers. I kind of had a feeling that one of them was probably not going to their destination, considering it was like flying off course, but I didn't realize it crashed into the mountainside. Safe to say they never made it to the great beyond. But after running around a little bit, I had been hearing a little bit about Vault 21. So I figured I'd go check it out. It's right down from the Lucky 38 on the strip, so it's not too far from my now home. So I walk in there and talk with this girl named Sarah, who gives me a tour and shows me some of the sites that are still there after Mr. House ripped the place apart and filled it with concrete. I also turned my charm on and we got a little friendly, and she opened up and said that she needed some leather for some more vault suits because that's the main thing that's been flying off the shelves there. And what the hell, I had some spare boomer suits, so I lent her some and she was pretty pleased. So I wandered around there a little bit more and ran into this guy named Carlitos. I guess he is still loosely associated with the Omertas. I owe them a visit. But he's really worried about his girl Joanna. Wanted me to go in there and check on her. I'm sure I'll be doing that soon enough. Also need to pay a visit to the White Glove Society, which that's probably what I'll end up doing next. And then I'll go find Joanna. But until then, I'm going to turn this back over to Sulior. You're just making friends everywhere, aren't you? Can't deny my charm. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I wanted to play a little bit, because it had been a week or two since I'd played New Vegas, but I'm actually ahead on the schedule. So I'm looking at it now, and I've already done everything with the boomers, so I couldn't really work on that. I've already went up and checked on the cons, so I can't really do that. White Gloves is next feedback. And Omertas can't really work on that yet. So, yeah, I just figured I'd get out and explore a little bit more. Was very surprised when the the Silver Rush people were attacking me. Forgot to mention that while I was running around with Boone, they also started attacking me in the wild. There were some hired Van Graff thugs that started chasing me, along with the Legion and everyone else that's attacking me out in the wasteland while I'm running around. Oh, and I've also done the Brotherhood of Steel, which apparently I wasn't supposed to do until April. So, yeah, I'm just running around doing some random stuff. And I had never come across that crashed Bright Follower spaceship before, surprisingly. But, yeah, I came across that. I was looking for this Brotherhood of Steel bunker that was not in Hidden Valley. And came across that crashed ship with like 3 or 4 dead Bright Followers just laying around. So, yeah, I am, needless to say, glad that I got the quirk of going around and exploring everything, because it's been quite fun. And I'm seeing a lot of things that I'd never seen before. So anyway, next up is the White Glove Society, according to the S-Man schedule. So until then, I will see everybody in the wasteland.
Get out your fancy white gloves. So he started off by saying, you know, we got back to the Mojave and he wanted to go out and see what had been going on since he was gone. And that made me think, how long have we been gone? How long does it take to get to where we got to? How long does it take to do the things that we did? And how long did it take to walk all the way fucking back to, not Arizona?
Yeah,
Where
that's
are
a
we?
good question. I
Arizona?
haven't
We're
paid
Nevada?
attention to
We're in
my-
Nevada.
Utah.
Yeah, to Utah and back to Nevada. Nevada.
Yep.
Not Nevada. They hate that. Nevada.
Yeah, so I got to imagine it'd definitely be, it's a long walk.
Is it weeks?
It's a long drive.
Months? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I would think months.
Months we've been out there. So just the trip would take a good deal of time. How about the actual contents of the happenings? Like, I didn't notice the day and night cycle of just, like, if you could literally count the days that you're there. Like, of course,
Yeah,
I didn't notice
probably.
that
I
sort of
can't
thing.
imagine it'd be more than 2 or 3 days.
Just 2 or 3 days for all the battling and walking around, finding the walkie-talkies, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just a couple days. So most of the time was spent in the getting there and getting back then. And getting back would have taken twice as long because we didn't have a caravan to travel with, right? Or actually, no, we could probably travel lighter, travel faster.
Heavier because you've got all the junk.
All the junk with you, yeah. I got all that shit with you. But you don't have to wait around on other people, so you can move at your own pace at least.
Yeah.
But you don't have a follower to bring all that shit back with either, so...
No.
So, yeah, we've been out there on the road for a while. Yeah, so maybe... I was thinking, oh, gosh, we haven't been gone that long. But, yeah, I guess we have been out on the road for a bit there. Good observation. Yeah. And the Silver Rush, that seems like... He mentioned that it's the Van Graffs, right? It's like, it's been a while since we played any of this, so I don't remember Silver Rush, Van Graffs, and then he said they were sending out... Does every fucking faction send out, like, hunting parties for someone?
It seems like it, yeah. Yeah, the thug system definitely can really start adding up.
It's like, quit pissing people off. Every time I turn around, I've got, the Emeritus here. I've got the Great Khans here. I've got the fucking Van Graffs behind me. I've got the Brotherhood of Steel up the hill. I got the NCR over there.
Powder gangers are after you.
Oh, my God. I haven't seen a powder gang. Like, if you wipe them out in the beginning, do they keep coming after you the rest of the game?
Yeah.
Really?
Usually,
I don't think I've
only
been
if you're
attacked by
around Prem.
Okay. You have to be back in that area.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that I like to do at the Silver Rush is, if you can get to them before you pissed them off and they're hostile towards you, you can actually get a job. So like when you start the Cassidy quest, you've got to, you go and see that somebody with energy weapons was involved in wiping out her caravan. So, you're going to go check out the Van Graffs. if you go up and ask for a job, they'll make you, one of the door security. And so, the guy tells you, okay, you want to let potential customers in, you want to keep the riffraff out. And so one of the people that comes up is somebody intent on robbing the place. And so you let them in, and the guy's like, "What are you doing, you stupid?" But the guy goes in and shoots the place up, and usually takes out a few people in the process, so that when you go in to wipe them out, they've been softened up a bit.
Send in a primer. That's funny. So, but I assume you're supposed to, not let him in, right?
That's if you want a promotion,
No,
then yeah.
Can you go that way? Can you get a promotion and get paid by the Van Graffs just to stand around?
I don't know. I've never liked them enough to want to work my way up the ranks.
And what's their deal? Who are the Van Graffs? Remind me.
So they're gun dealers.
Gun dealers, weapons. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see. Solior said next week we're doing White Glove Society, right? Those folks. And who else?
I think it depends on your faction.
Oh, does it really? Okay. Well, he said he's going.
For me, next week it's the Kings.
Ooh, honka burn. Very cool. Let's see. One other thing I wrote down, the Vault 21 stuff. Sarah took him on a tour. He gave up some boomer jackets for Vault suit. She wanted to make some Vault suits. I need to go run over there and see. I need to do all the stuff on the strip. I haven't. And the ship crash. I thought I heard either you or Jess or someone mentioned that last week, if I remember right. Didn't someone?
I think it might have been Lee.
Lee, okay. So what? Remind me of the ship crash. This is the people from the RepCon. Is the Bright followers who actually got to the lift off. This is probably that one rocket who went off sideways. I bet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't really say which one it is, but yeah, that's
it's probably that one.
Yeah.
Where is that? Where's that crash? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't remember.
Okay, I'll have to look that up too. Fun stuff to go look around at. All right, Mr. Solior, thank you so much for your feedback.
I think Solior said he found it on the way to the Brotherhood Safe House.
Oh, the safe house. That's up. Is that north? Or is that out by the river? What's that thing out by the river? There's a couple of different Brotherhood locations. Cool. All right. Thank you, Solior. Up next, we've got our good buddy.
Greetings, all. This is Lee Benjamin with the story of Lori Finch in the New Vegas Wasteland, Episode 6. After restocking their supplies in Good Springs, Lori, Cass, and Eddie headed out to New Vegas, but stopped by Helios 1 to talk to the idiot in the sunglasses who called himself Fantastic. Lori found out what Mr. Fantastic thought was needed and reconnected the two external terminals, and then went into the central tower where the NCR wouldn't go because of the security robots. Here they needed to find the mainframe to redirect power to Camp McCarran and the New Vegas Strip, as specified by the Fantastic Idiot, since it seemed to be the best solution for the NCR. Along the way, they took out a couple of Gutsy-style robots. In the lower levels, they found one of the big Securitron robots and took it out with some dynamite. Lower still, there was another Securitron that Lori took out with her grenade launcher. Continuing down in the basement, there were some Protectron robots, protected by force fields. She finally found the mainframe and repaired its auxiliary generator. Lori directed the power to Fort McCarran in the New Vegas Strip, but it needed alignment to reach full power. They went to the outside of the observation deck and redirected the mirrors to restore as much power as possible. Returning to Mr. Fantastic, he, predictably, told her that he'd take the credit for most of her work. Disgusted, she turned away. While leaving, none of the soldiers seemed to know enough about what was going on to care about the repairs to Helios 1, or to pass it on to anyone above them. Typical. Laurie, Cass, and Eddie headed to the Crimson Caravan Company to search for more evidence connecting them with the caravans attacked by energy weapons. After checking out the layout during the day, they came back after midnight. Laurie cracked the safe. In it, they found Alice McCafferty's copy of the agreement between the Crimson Caravan Company and the Van Graffs to undercut or eliminate their competition. The Van Graffs agreed to attack Cassidy's caravan to lower its value so Alice could buy her out. Returning to New Vegas, they sought out the Van Graffs' establishment in Freeside, the Silver Rush Casino. Outside, Cass distracted the guard, and Laurie easily pickpocketed the Van Graff key off of him. It turned out she didn't need it. The door to the back was open, and she was able to sneakily hack the terminal in the back room, unlocking the safe and pilfering the note implicating Gloria. After leaving, Laurie talked to Cass about the evidence that both Alice McCafferty and Gloria Van Graff had conspired to eliminate competing caravans in the Mojave. Cass told Laurie that the only one she trusted with the evidence is Ranger Jackson at the Mojave outpost, so that became their next stop. Ranger Jackson took the evidence and promised to get it to the authorities back west, on the condition that they not let the temptation of vengeance get to them. They promised, and Cass told Laurie that she was relieved, even if the wheels of justice took a couple of years to turn. Returning to New Vegas, they looked up NCR Ambassador Dennis Crocker to follow up on his letter. He asked them to check out a settlement to the northeast and the tribe called the Boomers, who may have some additional armaments that would benefit the NCR. Lurie agreed, and they headed out. They found Nellis Air Force Base after dodging an artillery barrage and were invited in to meet Pearl, their leader. Despite their isolation, Mother Pearl, as she is known, was well aware of the coming storm in the Mojave. She saw also the wisdom of letting in a little of the outside world so that they could figure out who among the factions might be their best partners to weather the storm. As their trust grows, she told Laurie, that she could become an ambassador to the outside world and show her youngsters that not every outsider needs to be blown up. She had several tasks to help in this effort. She sent her to Pete at the museum, who told Laurie about the history of the Boomers from when they used to live in Vault 32 up to the present day. She sent her to Raquel, who has a problem with some bugs, ants specifically. Raquel told her that Laurie might have a weapon effective against the ants. Laurie found Loyal in the hangar and helped him figure out the exact settings for his sonic emitter to help kill the ants. He gave it to her, and she took it to the ant mound deep inside the generator building and used it to kill the remaining ants. She then repaired and turned the generators back on. During the repairs, she recovered the bodies of the Boomers who were killed while fighting ants. Laurie gave Cass a Boomer's outfit for helping out. She then reported back to Raquel. Argyle, the Boomer's doctor, needed help with the wounded. Laurie was able to cure 2 of the 3 patients, but the third was unconscious and unresponsive. She went back to Loyal in the hangar and met Jack, his assistant. They needed help making repairs around the base. One thing they needed help with was fixing the solar array. Laurie went and looked at him to see what was involved, and she remembered seeing parts that she could salvage at Helios 1. She fetched them and came back and repaired the 5 broken solar array panels and donated some scrap metal. Jack, who works on the equipment with Loyal, needed help with a red-headed girl off base that he has seen through binoculars. She's at the Crimson Caravan Company and seems to be watching him back. Laurie told him she'd look into it. At the Crimson Caravan, Laurie found Janet, the redhead of Jack's dreams. She felt the same way about Jack, but was worried about leaving and losing her back pay since she would be breaking her contract with the caravan company. Laurie talked to Alice about it and got her to agree to pay Janet her back pay as a gift. Laurie gave Janet a Boomer outfit so that she could safely approach Nellis, and she rushed off to Nellis to meet Jack. After gaining the trust of the Boomers, Pearl told Laurie to talk to Loyal about their greatest dream and the task that she could help them with. Loyal told her that they wanted to recover a B-29 superfortress from the bottom of Lake Mead, which he called the Lady in the Water. He gave her some deployable ballast balloons with a remote detonator to float it to the surface. Laurie and Jack worked together to perfect the seals on a rebreather he had been working on. With these tools in hand, she, Cass, and Eddie left for Lake Mead. Once there, Lori tested the rebreather in some shallow water, then swam out to the bomber. The bomber appeared to be in good shape, and based on the shape of it, she attached the airbags to each wing between the engines, then returned to the surface. Triggering the detonator, the aircraft quickly popped to the surface of the lake. Lori and the gang returned to Nellis and reported their success to Loyal. When asked how the recovery would proceed, Loyal told her that he was sending robots out to handle the disassembly and return of the aircraft. Loyal and Jack then had a lot of work to do to restore the bomber to flyable condition. Lori returned to Pearl to report her task completed. Pearl was very pleased and asked what the boomers could do for her to pay her for all of her good works. Lori told her that the NCR ambassador Crocker would like the help of the boomers in the upcoming battle against Caesar's Legion. Pearl readily agreed and said that the younglings would be thrilled to finally make use of their simulator training. Lori returned to Ambassador Crocker and gave him the good news. He then told them to take a few days off and return for another task. Lori, Cass, and Eddie returned to Nipton for a well-deserved rest.
All right, okay. I thought when he gives the outfit to the redhead lady because she wants to go up to find her boyfriend through the binoculars. They give her the boomer's outfit. I'm assuming that's going to prevent them from launching at her.
Right.
But have they been told that anyone's like coming back? Can they tell what outfit someone's wearing like from that distance away? Is that dude, whoever the fuck he is, still in that like little, road cut outcut warning people as they approach? Like, I'm worried she's going to get shelled on her way in,
Well, so you discussed that with Pearl. And
do you? Okay, okay.
So she's gonna make sure the gunners don't target her.
Take her down, so they can't tell. What I guess they'd be having binoculars and access to all that sort of stuff anyway. So yeah, they could tell the outfit anyway. I was just kind of worried, like, oh gosh, did we just send her off to her death? And
because gunners like that have to have spotters.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about military strategy and all that. So
to tell them, where to aim and whether they were too close, too far, how to adjust their guns.
So it's a two-person job. That's odd that there's one to fire and one that tells where to aim. Interesting.
Well, and
is that just with that particular kind of weapon? What is that? Is that a howitzer? What are they launching?
Howitzer.
Okay.
And they're usually multi-man crews because you've got somebody that's firing the gun, somebody that loads the gun,
right.
Somebody that moves the ammo around so that it's close to the guy that loads so that you can reload as quickly as possible.
And if you have to change aiming up, down, left, right, all that stuff, is there another guy for that too, or is that the same guy who does the aiming?
Maybe
Targeting,
the same guy that pulls the the fire to fire it.
Wow. That's cool. I had no idea.
Because you also have to make sure that nobody's job overlaps. So you don't have anybody firing when you're not expecting it to fire.
Yes. I think he said he took out some robots, Helios, with some dynamite. I haven't used dynamite as an actual weapon. I don't even think I used it against the powder gangers way back when.
Yeah, it's tricky to use.
Do you have to wait for the wick to like burn and time it right and stuff? Oh my god, that'd be so annoying.
Otherwise, it just bounces past them and they
they look at it.
They run away from it. Yeah,
they pick it up and throw it back at you. Like, oh no! And who was the this lady we're giving justice to? Was it some Van Graff's lady? Remember he was talking about that? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, that's that's the head of the Van Graff family.
Okay.
She's like the main bad guy.
And I haven't gone in there this play. Were we supposed to have gone in there? Because I think both Solior and Lee mentioned
it's
that.
if you have Cassidy as your follower, that's part of her quest.
Part of her quest? Okay. Neat. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Lee. We'll hear from you soon, sir. Coming up, we have got the Shoveler. Hey, John.
Hello, everyone. This is John with my feedback for Butch Caldwell for the House Always Wins 3 for the Boomers. House, of course, wants Butch to either get the Boomers to support him or to have Butch take out the Boomers to get it out of the way. I did this quest before I did the Honest Hearts because I really wanted to get the rebreather. I think a lot of people like that thing. It helps a lot in the underwater areas and some of the vaults. I'm going off of my memory on this and also using the completed quest notes in the Pip-Boy since it's been a while since I did it. So anyway, Butch heads out with Eddie. Yeah. Anyway, he heads out with Eddie and Cass to talk to the Boomers. Now, normally I don't read the signs when you go up to Nellis, but this time I stopped and read the notes or the signs there on the road. And of course, the first thing you see is a sign that reads danger, keep out, and then painted in red is the word Boomers. And below it is another sign that it looks like it's just hanging by a bolt, so it's kind of sideways. This one is, it's hard to read the original words because some of them were marked out by red paint. But what you do see is danger, do not enter. Any military may kill you, which is kind of funny. So anyway, we talked to George, and Butch does the wager for double or nothing, and then he gets the map, which in my opinion is pretty useless for me because all I do is just run like hell through around the edge, that ridge that's there around the buildings until they get to the fence where that's at that point I think they usually stop shooting at you. Of course, once we get to the fence, we get the notifications that the companions have all gone unconscious for some reason. I don't know why. But I guess on one of these playthroughs, I'm going to have to read that map again and follow the directions to see if I can make it through. But I probably won't do that. Anyway, so Butch makes it to the gate. His legs are broken. Of course, so we have to give him some stim packs, and I think I used a doctor bag on that. But again, that kid at the gate is pretty astonished that you made it through. And then Raquel walks up and tells you that Butch is that Pearl wants to see Butch. Pearl, of course, wants you to help with the Boomers to try and change their opinions of outsiders. And at this point, I go first to the doctor in the medical center thing, and his medicine isn't very high at this point, so he is only able to help out, I think, the first patient. So instead of doing any more harm to the rest of the patients, I send Butch out of the medical station as fast as possible and head him over to the museum and learn about the Boomers from Pete. Usually, I think after talking to Pete, you can go back to Pearl and she'll tell you to go talk to Loyal about raiding the bomber. I'm not quite sure about that, but I know that there's some service rifles and the boom uniforms in that generator array building. So I have Butch go talk to Raquel, and she gives him the quest to go kill the ants. Raquel, I guess, of course, suggested not to use the energy weapons on the ants because they've been eating the gunpowder. So you don't want them to get hit with laser weapons. So she suggested you go talk to Loyal because he's working on some kind of device to take out the ants. You go talk to Loyal, and he gives you the sonic emitter, and then you head back to the building. I have Butch leave Eddie outside, and I also make sure to keep any of the laser weapons take the laser weapons away from Cass, so that the ants don't go boom and cause more pain and suffering. Anyway, Butch heads inside with Cass, and using the weathered 10mm, he and Cass take out the ants. Cass has the trail carbine, so she doesn't cause them to go boom. But they take the ants out on the first floor, and then they go down to the bottom floor and head right to the ant mound and reset the emitter. And then Butch activates it, and of course all the ants die. Honestly, I really would like one of these for my yard. I have a big problem with ants in the summer, and this would help me out immensely. This is also where Butch picks up the thump grenade launcher. So after we get out of that building, we go talk to Raquel. She is glad that the ants are dead, and she is really surprised that you actually made it out alive. And then you go talk to Pearl. She has you go talk to Loyal and about raising the Lady of the Lake, which is, of course, that B-29 bomber. Loyal sends you over to Jack to get a rebreather so you can get in the lake and not drown. And using the science skill check, Butch is able to tell Jack that he can use corn silk, a rubber hose, and removable adhesive, and to make a good hermetic seal for the rebreather. Sorry about that. So once he gets the rebreather, Butch, Cass, and Edie go head out to the Lake Mead. I send him through the Boulder Beach campground, mostly because I really don't like the cazadors that are around Colville Bay on the other side of Lake Mead. Now, usually I get through this pretty easily, but this time, for some reason, I head to this the scavenger platform that's close to the B-29 and run into a bunch of Lake Lurk Kings, and I'm gonna tell you right now that the pistols work really so much better on those ants. And Cass and Eddie are usually pretty good fighting, but this time they got taken out quick. So after the third reload, because I'm stubborn and I decide not to just have Butch and company bypass the platform, Butch is able to take out the Lake Lurks using the service rifle, and then they make it to the bomber and place the ballast under the wings, and then they get to the boat ramp, and using the detonator they raise the bomber. Cass, Eddie, and Butch, Eddie, and Cass return to Loyal, and they let him know that the bomber's raised, and he takes care of that. Then they head to Pearl, and she agrees to help you in the coming battle. So at this point, I realize that I still have to do Honest Hearts, so I put off returning to George to get the caps back for Butch, and we go do Honest Hearts. I this point, I think I send Eddie to the followers to get him upgraded, since we can't take followers along to Honest Hearts. And we also leave a reluctant Cass at the 38. When we returned from Utah, he puts off getting Cass because he knows that Cass will give him hell for leaving her at the 38. Of course, this is all in my headcanon, not really in the game. So instead, I have Butch go pick up Veronica, and they do her and McNamara's quests, mostly because I really like Veronica. And we also get Butch trained on wearing power armor. So finally, Butch is able to get Eddie back, and they return to the 38. And then Butch talks to House, and they complete the House Always Wins 3. Then Butch heads to the presidential suite to talk to a snarky Cass. Again, this is my headcanon. She's a little put out that Butch didn't take her to Utah. I think she really wanted to visit Utah. But anyway, after getting the 3rd degree from Cass, Butch, Cass, and Eddie head out to talk to George. Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick. That line always makes me giggle. Anyway, George is shocked to see Butch has made it through. He really didn't think he was going to make it. And then Butch reminds George about the bet, and that's when we get a 60-level speech check to either lie to George by saying that he would tell the boomers to adjust their trajectory, and then that they would get 700 caps, or do the 400 caps for the wager. In my headcanon, I think that since George caused Butch to backslide on gambling, we decide to make George pay, and we pass the speed check and get 700 caps. So I was going to give you my stats, but we're really running along, so I apologize for that. I'll try to catch up later on the stats. But right now, Butch is at a level 29, so we're pretty close to the cap out, I think. So anyway, thanks for letting me ramble. And once again, I appreciate you guys letting us do these, getting out of our comfort zones. And so Butch and I will see you in the wasteland. Goodbye.
He mentioned level 17 and near the level cap, but that's not right anymore since he has DLCs, right? Isn't that how you said it goes?
Yeah, so he's at level 29.
Oh, 29.
So 30 was the cap,
but
and
it's
it's
now
the cap
50,
if you
right?
take Logan's loophole, which is the perk or the trait that lets you drink and do drugs without any effect. But
The drawback is
that you're level capped at 30.
okay.
So you lose the 20 extra levels from the DLC.
And what does that actually gain you from level 20 to level 50 or 40 or whatever you're allowed to get to?
Well, so you just
keep adding perks? Like, do you get to keep choosing perks? That's it?
Yeah, you keep getting perks.
Okay. So that does make it worth it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So way to go extorting George.
Good job. We appreciate that.
Yep. He definitely deserves it. For, even just, betting on the fact that you're going to get blown up by the boomers.
How dare you?
Yeah. And, when you try to skirt around the enemies at the lake, it has a way of coming back to bite you. So
skirting right back up on your face.
Yeah, I'm gonna ditch the cazadors, but here comes a bunch of lake lurks.
Tell me about lake lurks.
So they are a creature from the Black Lagoon, essentially.
They are Mirelurk kings, or no?
Yeah. So they sonic attack.
Okay.
And run around with with their arms raised.
Right. Yeah. So why the nomenclature difference? Lake Lurk versus Mirelurk. Why Lake Lurk versus Mirelurk King? Is that just the region that they're from, or the development of the game, or there were some weird details that between Bethesda and Obsidian, they couldn't name it the same thing for some reason? Were Mirelurks in the early Fallout games? I don't even remember.
Yeah, so I think it has to do with the geography mainly. So
Okay.
76 is the outlier. But so Boston and Washington, D.C. Are, roughly in that, that blue crab zone. And so
Chesapeake area,
they're, so the Mirelurks are crabs. Now, in Lake Mead, you're not going to have crabs.
Yeah, what, brine shrimp? What the hell are you getting out there?
Yeah, you get some clams, some snails, but no crabs.
So what the hell did they develop from?
So they are, kind of like the creature from the Black Lagoon. They're kind of fishmen.
They're fishmen, so they're not related to the Mirelurk Kings on the East Coast.
No,
these are
not
fish, not crabs.
Yep.
Even though they look extremely similar and have.
They don't look anything like the Mirelurk Kings.
And the fact that they are bipedal and
and have
they look kind of like people with
fin,
like fishy hands or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't mean like they look exactly the same, but they can resemble each other more so than a Mirelurk and a Lake Lurk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Mirelurk Kings could have easily just been called Lake Lurks.
Are Mirelurk Kings related to Mirelurks?
They should be River Lurks.
River Lurks. So the Mirelurk Kings that we know so well in 4, 76, 3, whatever, are, even though they're called Mirelurk Kings, they're actually fishmen, not crabs, not related to the Mirelurks that they team up with.
Right.
And attack me in groups, but there's Mirelurks and Mirelurk Kings together, but the Mirelurk Kings are not actually derived from crabs, but fish.
Not the way they look. Yeah, they look more like fish, actually, or a little bit like gulpers.
Huh. Someone's got some splaining to do with the naming.
We'll have to get Joe DeLove back on the show.
Yes. That would be perfect question for him. Explain this, sir.
Yep.
And why does the Mirelurk look like your dad? All right. Let's see if I had any other notes here from John the Shoveler. He mentioned getting the rebreather, and that sort of makes me reflect back on my gameplay I'm doing with the Ocarina of Time. I would struggle to, the first time through the Ocarina of Time is just like a very long, drawn-out game. I'm not looking anything up. I'm stumbling through, trying to figure out everything on my own. And it's just, a slog. You not really have any idea what's going on. You just kind of look for the clues and just happen to finally get to where you need to go. But the playthrough I'm doing now, I'm using this really detailed guide. So, like, instead of you going through all this stuff in order, he's saying, okay, here's all the stuff you can get right now as early as possible. Stuff that I wouldn't have gotten, like, past level 3, but you can get it, like, right at the beginning of the game. So, like, running around getting stuff, objects in the game that make it easier later on. And I'm thinking that was one of my main things why I went up and did the boomers a couple weeks ago. Like, that was one of the first things I wanted to do, was to get this rebreather thing. You know what I mean? Because it is, like he mentioned, it is useful.
Oh, yeah.
especially for like those underwater vaults and stuff that you had to do. Like I was in, what was it? Is it 3? I don't remember which one is underwater. But there's a couple things you're going to why I drowned a few times. I'm like, man, I need to go get that rebreather thing. And then I'm just thinking, what are the objects in this game? Is the rebreather, like, what are the things you can like go around and get that you want to collect to be useful while doing a run in this game? Like the rebreather is totally useful. Totally. Are there other things like that? Like, ooh, if you go and get this, you can pass this part of the level, or it makes this portion of a thing so much easier. Can you think of any other objects in the game? Like I can only really think of the rebreather.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the character build you've got. Like for me, it was I really needed to get to Novak to do the come fly with me, because I wanted the spacesuit.
Right. Yes. Okay. No, the spacesuit is a great example of that.
Because that if you're a sneaky character, the spacesuit is indispensable.
Someone posted a picture
until you've been through Honest Hearts.
What? Okay. So what changes then?
So Joshua Graham's armor, you get 5 more DT for only 1 more pound of weight.
So is it 10 to 1 then? Because isn't the spacesuit 5 to 1? I don't remember what it was.
So it's 10 DT for 7 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And Joshua Graham's armor is 15 DT for 8 pounds.
Oh, so 1 more plus another 5. Okay. No, that's great. And it's not the mummy outfit you said last week, though, unfortunately.
No,
they
you
don't
don't
give you
get
the Dark Man
That
mask.
would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it would. The fucking face bandages? Come on, that's badass. Man, why don't they give us that in 76? I guess we have that mummy mask with the glowing yellow eyes. It's kind of similar. Mr. Mummy.
Yeah, so there's a few different things like that.
Space
through the
suit.
game that are very, build specific.
Yeah, but then there's all the named weapons and stuff, of course. But I didn't really mean anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think it's just as far as generic equipment goes. That's really the only one, unless you're using Archimedes.
Archimedes. That's something to do with Helios 1. What is that?
Yeah, that's the Helios one.
What is Archimedes? Is that the name of the satellite or something?
It's the weapon name.
The name of
so the satellite that
beams you down,
builds up the energy and beams it down.
That's literally just a space laser. Get up to space.
Yeah.
Oh.
And, John, don't worry about following the map through the buildings. That really isn't all that great. Running along the cliffs is definitely the better way to go. You didn't mention if you had tucked into the crevice in the rock, which I think maybe you didn't because you ended up with broken legs. So
he ducked behind the third house instead of the second.
But that, so he said he just ran like hell, which is not you can't completely get away if you run to the notch in the rocks and wait there for the barrage to finish. You'll come out completely unscathed. But if you try to make it all the way to the fence, you're going to take some serious damage.
Is there any possible way in the game to get a boomer's outfit before going there?
Not that I know of.
Because that would be...
Yeah, but if they're not expecting you,
they'd still kill you anyway. They'd be like, hey, wait a second. He might be a spy. I did have one other question that popped up when he was talking about like reading different signs on the way into Nellis. It made me think, you look at all the signs in the game, I don't even remember what it says, but there's like a sign, it must be on the strip somewhere, that's made up of a bunch of different signs, if you know what I mean. It's like they take 2 letters from this sign, a letter from that sign. It's like it looks
Yeah,
different.
that's the free side.
The
sign.
free side sign. Do you know what they're taking the letters from? Have you ever like looked at the letters and be like, oh, that one's from the Caesar's Palace. That one's from blah blah blah. That one's from over here. That one. Have you ever identified where those letters come from?
No.
No, that'd be interesting. I bet you there's an article about that somewhere. There has to be.
Yeah, could be
Because
you
they're
can
obvious.
Go to
They got to be real references. I mean, they have to be.
Yeah. There's a place in Las Vegas that is a sign company that has all of the old signs.
The fabulous
that
Las
have been
Vegas
replaced.
signs.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
They have a little museum or something of their old signs.
it's just it's just like a junkyard for cars, only for Las Vegas signs.
That's amazing. That would be one of the scenes I would want to go see first.
Yeah. So they've got that in this game, in New Vegas. So there's an area that you can go into around the Fiends, area.
Is it
where you can see these signs?
Is it an unnamed or unmarked location or something? You just kind of have to stumble
I think
into
it has a name.
Cool.
Because there's a door you go through. But it's also in Mars Attacks.
No way.
Yeah,
that's great. I'd probably recognize it then. Like, when was the last time I saw Mars Attacks? Within the last couple years, I think. I think we discussed that before. Not too long ago.
Yeah.
Very cool. Love it. Yeah, that was all I had for John. Thanks again, John. Always appreciate it. You thank us, but we thank you right back, sir. Keep it coming. Let's see who we got up next. It looks like we got Nikki and Calm Horizons.
Hey there, Fallout Feed. This is Matt, Calm Horizons on the Discord. And with me again, I've got Nikki. Say hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
And all right, so this is going to be the feedback for Stella Wren for Boomers Week. But I actually did the Boomers kind of a long time ago. And so instead, the theme for this week is going to be hardcore mode, because that's really what I'm going to be talking about today. So I don't know how many other people are playing hardcore mode, but the main features are... number 1, you have to eat and drink and sleep, but that's just, a minor hassle, not that big a deal. Number 2 is your companions can die. And number 3 is there is no instant healing. Every healing is heal over time.
Okay.
So what I do remember from the Boomers is how Eddie and Veronica died.
No!
So... doing the ants, right? And they are very clear. Don't use energy weapons to kill the ants. And that's fine. I just punch things. And I know Eddie has a laser gun on him, but that's not an energy weapon. That's a robot. Whatever. So I go in there, and my tag skills are survival and unarmed and sneak. And so sneak was always the thing that I leveled up the least, but it was still much higher than everything else. So I was still pretty decent at sneaking. And so I was able to sneak up on most of the ants and kill them with sneak attacks. So Eddie and Veronica were just watching me kill all of the ants. And I get down to the bottom, and I'm looking for more ants. And apparently they start coming out. They're not all there at first. They start showing up as you're killing them and getting close to them. And so I had gone to a corner and killed an ant over there and turned around and walked away. And then there must have been another ant that came up that Eddie shot. And I wasn't over there anymore. I was fighting another ant. And then boom, giant explosion, and my screen is filled with prompt after prompt of Eddie has been killed, and you have failed Eddie's mission, and Veronica has been killed, and you've failed Veronica's mission. And not the most glamorous outing for poor Stella Wren, but all the ants are dead. So I guess we'll call that a qualified success. But I didn't get a chance to say this for the Honest Hearts DLC, but similarly, so Follows Chalk was fine. Follows Chalk never died. Waking Cloud did die, unfortunately. I liked her a lot better because she was another unarmed wielding sneak, like she was me, and I was out exploring, looking for Randall Clark's final resting place, and over there was, I think it was 3. It might have just been
bombs.
2. No bombs. Yagwai, 2 of the giant Yagwai, or 3, something like that. There was more than just the one, and I was able to kill my one in the VATS round, but the other one got Waking Cloud before I could go over there and finish it off. So that was another follower who died, and then because I had already done all of the Boomer stuff, this week I decided to finally go ahead and get to kill Caesar.
To kill Caesar.
So I went and grabbed Boone because I thought Boone would have a good time doing that. And so just to tell you, Nikki, Boone is a companion that you can get, that his wife, who was pregnant, gets abducted by the Legion to be sold into slavery, and he finds out about it, and he ends up killing her. So that, because he's a sniper, he ends up killing her from a distance so that she doesn't become a slave. But he's got a giant vendetta against the
Shoot
Legion.
the hostages.
So I recruited him specifically to come help me wipe out the Legion camp. And so we get in there, and there was a couple of times where I needed to walk over and give him a couple of stim packs, but he was fine until we got into Caesar's tent itself.
Until we got into Caesar's tent himself?
Well, I mean, there's a whole giant fort, and then in the center of the fort is Caesar's tent. And Caesar's tent is full of strong guys and Caesar himself. And
how big is this tent?
Pretty big, bigger than our house. It's a big tent. And it did not go well after, 4 reloads where, again, it's hardcore mode. So when I get hurt, like, yes, I'm healing, but I'm not healing fast. Heal over time. There's no instant potions. And so I ended up accepting the run where I did manage to kill everyone, but Boone died in the process. So I am leaving a wake of dead companions, but I'm also achieving my goals. So take that, hardcore mode. I'll run out of companions eventually, hopefully not before I beat the game. So yeah, that's going to do it for my feedback this week. You got anything to say, Nikki?
Remember, Wastelanders, if someone named Stella Wren asks you to be her companion, just say no. It's not worth it.
Walk away.
And with that, we'll see you in the Wasteland. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
It seems like the followers are equivalent to the Spinal Tap drummer. If you've ever seen that movie, right?
No.
Don't be Spinal Tap's drummer. Don't be Calm Horizon's follower.
So good news.
Yes.
There's still 4 more followers plus Rex.
Oh, don't kill Rex. Please don't take Rex out. Poor Rex. So, sounds like these energy weapons and the ant layer are a particular issue.
Yeah, no bueno.
Why wouldn't normal ballistic rounds also make them explode? Why are they particularly worried about laser beams?
Well, because lasers are essentially a heat source. So, if the ants were made out of flint,
then the ballistics would be an issue?
Ballistics would be
because it would cause a spark and then they would explode? Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, the laser weapons. Now, technically, you should be able to get away with using a plasma weapon because that's not necessarily an explosive type, fire type thing.
But it is superheated, right?
Yeah, I suppose it is. It really just looks like goo. So
Yeah.
Nickelodeon slime.
I mean,
But
what
yeah,
is
I
what
guess
is
it is
plasma?
superheated gas.
Isn't it something that's so like a solid compressed so much that it becomes a superheated liquid again or something? What is plasma?
Yeah, I think it's a superheated gas.
Superheated gas. Okay.
But yeah, so I suppose that'd be a problem too. But
That's I just thought they would all be an issue.
yeah, you gotta leave Eddie outside.
Yeah, stay home, Eddie. Why don't you sit this one out, bud? Stay
And
up here.
make sure that Cass doesn't have anything but ballistic weapons. Her shotgun's great, but
That heal over time sounds super shitty. Do you ever play hardcore?
no, I don't play hardcore. Mm.
Do you? What's just under hardcore? Super tough, badass, Mr. Bad Guy.
No,
you
I think
you
it's
usually
just
play pretty. You usually play harder difficulty than I do.
I mean, I try to bump it up a little bit, but it all depends. Some games don't really have a good sliding scale. It's all or nothing.
Well, that's when I was kind of surprised earlier in the show when you were talking about that Skyrim mod that makes everything harder. I'm just like, are you bored with like ultra tough mode already? You got to make it. It's just hard in a different way, Andrew.
Yeah, it is. It's just a different kind of hard.
All right. Thank you, Calm Horizons. Thank you, Nikki. Good to hear from you guys. Let's go ahead and check in with Rando.
The Diaries of Myra Tenpenny. Volume, whatever. Hello, future Scaver, or member of the Legion, or Zayton Alien Overlord. This is Veronica, former member of the Brotherhood of Steel, and I just want everyone to know Myra is currently passed out in the bathroom floor. She got drunk and fought a bear one time, and now she thinks she's invincible. Thank you again, Veronica. Headed to Boomer's. Headache. Glad I already visited them once. No way I'd make it through their rockets today. Think I'll stop by New Vegas Clinic on the way and see what the doc's got to help with this hangover. A couple shots of Med-X and a nice walk to Nellis, and I'm feeling much better. It was nice to see Pearl again. Last time I was here, I helped him out with an ant problem, which would have went very smoothly if it wasn't for Edie shooting an ant with his energy weapons next to some of the munitions they had down there. Yep, boom, boom, boom. We love our little robot buddy, but he is the most reckless part of this outfit. And that's saying something. I have Veronica with me. I hope she reads that. It was a few weeks back. Today, I talked to Loyal, and he needed some help fixing the solar array. So I checked it out. He sent me over to Helios to find some solar panel parts, which I did. Your normal wandering across the Mojave. But after we got back and I was halfway through repairing the solar panels with the parts that I picked up, I realized I already knew how to do this. I don't need these parts. I guess that's what I get for my bad decisions. After that, I did some running for some lovebirds. Now here's a little ditty about Jack and Janet. Two voyeurs from worlds. Apparently these two have been watching each other through binoculars forever. Jack is begging me to find a way to get her over here. I went and talked to old Lady Pearl, and she agreed to let Janet come over. So, as normal, ran over to the Crimson Caravan, gave her what she needed to get by. Boomer Boom Boom security. And now they're happily, madly in love, staring at each other in the hangar. As has two stalkers in a pod. After getting the binocular lovebirds together, I went and talked to Loyal, and he opened up. I guess I'd done enough to gain their trust. And he told me about the Lady of the Lake, which is an old bomber crashed at the bottom of a lake not too far from here. And this is where I got to do the coolest thing I've got to do since I showed up in the Mojave. Jack gave me a rebreather so I could breathe underwater. The science is sound. Don't look into it. Loyal gave ballast to put under the wings so we can set it off and float them to the top. So I took off immediately. I couldn't wait to try this stuff out. And yes, this whole thing could have been accomplished much quicker. But you're underwater. breathing in silence, no chaos, just fish in open spaces. So I had to swim around for a while. But after I was done with my sightseeing, everything went off without a hitch. Went back to shore, and boom, the lady of the lake is now the lady of the surface of the lake. But Loyal and his robots are going to come get it and take it back to the hangar. After I returned to Nellis, I went and talked to Pearl again. She has pledged the Boomer support to help with the upcoming battle at Hoover Dam. And I told her, you'll finally actually get to bomb some savages. The Legion, I mean, of course. The real only savages out here in the wasteland. Time back to the Lucky 38 and talk to Mr. House. Oh boy. So after talking to Mr. House and letting him know the Boomers will be supporting our efforts, now I need to go back to the Gamorra because he thinks the Omertas are up to something. But this is going to be a business trip, not a pleasure trip, which is unfortunate. So, no drinking this time. Veronica has promised to punch me if I touch a bottle. Honestly, the best part is, I know that she means it.
And Fiend. Thank you so much, Rando. He said he already knew how to do the work. He went down to Helios to get the mirror parts or whatever the spare parts were.
Yeah.
When he got down there, he already knew how to do all that, so it was evidently a waste. Was that a repair check or something that he didn't?
Yeah,
that he could already pass that he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't check that first. He just went to get the parts.
Hey, why not?
Yeah,
you get experience points, hopping around, doing stuff anyway. You don't feel too bad about it.
I did like the, the fact that she was lamenting trying to make the Boomers trip with a hangover. And, if the howitzers had been going off, it would have been a whole nother story.
Loud. Yeah, it might irritate your headache a little. So it looks like we've got a couple more coming up. Let's go ahead and check in with Vanessa. What's up, Van?
Hi, this is Vanessa with another New Vegas update. Sterling Price is glad to be back in the Mojave. The last month has been hectic. No sooner was he back from Zion than he was back helping the Boomers. In fact, he's been helping them off and on since before Zion. Ever since, wandering down the road east from Vegas, he bumped into a man who bet him that he couldn't make it to Nellis and back alive. Well, a bet's a bet, and he was feeling pretty untouchable after a profitable night at the Wrangler. Sterling ran flush to the cliffside like a headless chicken, administering stimpaks at a rate of knots before arriving at the gate to Nellis, home of the Boomers. He's told he should speak to Pearl, their leader, and since he knows better than to argue with people this trigger-happy, he heads over to introduce himself. Pearl is reasonably amiable and suggests that the Boomers could use his help on a number of projects. Problematic ants, busted solar arrays, young love, and directs him to the relevant people. Firstly, he calls in at the Boomers Museum to hear their story, an imagined glorious future from some gung-ho kid. It's entertaining enough, and despite the fact that he's clearly considered to be one of the savages that the child repeatedly refers to, he plays along politely, snuffling himself a snow globe on his way out the door. Right, time to deal with the most complex problem. He heads off to the hangar building to see about Jack's love life. While he's there, Jack also mentions that he will pay for any scrap metal Sterling is able to bring him. This is excellent news since there's a load of it on the shelves not 10 paces away. Sterling brings it to Jack and receives a handful of caps for his troubles, probably the easiest money he's ever made. But back to business. Jack has been watching a woman over at the Crimson Caravan Company through his binoculars, which is both creepy and a marvel of optical engineering given the distance, hilly terrain and high fences that separate them. Jack seems like an okay sort though, so why not try and make him happy? At the Crimson Caravan, it turns out that the woman in question, Janet, has also been watching Jack back with her own pair of miracle binoculars. He hopes the star-crossed stalkers are happy together and negotiates with Alice, the head of the Crimson Caravan, to release Janet from her employment. Pearl gives the relationship her blessing and he gets a Boomer flight suit to take to Janet so she's not blown to smithereens on the way to Nellis, and Love's young dream finally becomes a reality. Back at the base, he fixes up the satellite array using his knack for repair and sees off the giant ants in the building under the array, planting a sonic emitter device that Loyal has designed into the ant nest to prevent any further infestation. While there, he grabs himself a nice marksman carbine rifle from an unlucky boomer who didn't make it through the ants. In fact, they barely made it through the door. The scoped rifle will add a handy long-distance option for any future trouble. He reports back to Raquel, the head of security, who has sounded surprisingly prickly for someone who's been unable to sort out this comparatively simple problem herself. After all this, he heads back to Pearl, who has one final task for him now that he's proved his trustworthiness. He's sent to talk to Loyal to hear about his plans to raise an old pre-war plane from the bottom of Lake Mead. Loyal provides some ballast for Sterling to fix to the plane to make it float to the surface, after which the boomers will send robots to return it to Nellis. To help with the recovery, he's sent to Jack for a rebreather, which Jack will cobble together using a pressure cooker, which sounds less than ideal. He lends his science skill to the effort, and together they come up with something a bit less drowny. Most of the journey to the lake is straightforward enough, although him and Rex have to beat a hasty retreat when they get a bit too near some deathclaws. It's only the last few hundred yards where they have to fight through a group of cazadors that things get really dicey. The poison they spit seems to whittle away at his health for an eternity. Cazadors dealt with, he swims out into the lake. Locating the plane is easy enough, but finding where he should attach the ballast in the murky water, not so much. Poor Rex is up on the surface doggy-paddling like Billy-O while Sterling blunders about. He finally spots a suitable point under each wing, and the plane frees itself from the mud and floats up to the surface. Job done, Pearl promises to use the plane to aid in the inevitable upcoming battle, and he bids his goodbyes to the boomers. He'll tell Yes Man they're on side. He spends a bit of time helping Cass with finding out what happened to her caravan, uncovering devious behaviour by Alice and the Crimson Caravan, and also the Van Graffs over at the Silver Rush along the way. He manages to persuade Cass to take the matter to the NCR rather than a more direct course of action. However, things unexpectedly turn violent at the Silver Rush. He's never even been in the building till now, and he's handed over all his weapons at the front door, but somehow they're immediately hostile. He runs back out and tries again, this time dealing with the guard and keeping hold of his weapons. Cass decides if they've killed one guilty party, they may as well go back and take out the entire Vegas branch of the Crimson Caravan Company. He draws the line at this and suggests she goes back to the outpost to calm down. More pressingly, he needs to plan the logistics of emptying an entire weapons shop when the local merchants have such limited caps. He heads home to consider his options. So that's all for me. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the wasteland.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you, Vanessa. Seems like everybody is getting into a little bit of a tangle over there at the Silver Rush.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a heck of a haul right there. Those are some high-value weapons, and there's a lot of them. So it is a bit of a slog to get all those, moved through vendors.
Nice.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure that the scrap metal that she sold to Loyal or to Jack was stolen.
How dare? Wait,
I think
does that mean he's a fence?
I think it's I think it's you're stealing it from him and selling it to him. So I don't think he's
just
quite
dumb.
sharp enough to be a fence.
He's not a fence. He's just stupid.
Yeah.
She mentioned a snow globe. Did I walk right by it? Where's the snow globe at Nellis? I forget.
Yeah, I think it's in the museum.
Ooh, did I get it? I might have to go back and double check that. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Vanessa. Yeah, the scrap metal on the shelf by Jack, that was hilarious. Selling him his own scrap. She also mentioned, and I'd forgotten this, and yeah, how are they getting the plane back, by the way? Oh, robots. Did we see robots at Nellis?
Yeah,
where are the
scooting
robots?
around all over the place.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're drifting about outside.
I don't know if I know. I was going to say, wait, I think there was a iBot. No, wait, that's Eddie.
Yeah.
Wait outside, Eddie. It's like someone else is dealing with the ants. Wait outside. All right. I think that's all I have for Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa. Always great to hear from you. Sounds good. Hope to hear from you next week as well. All right. Last feedback of the week. We have Will. What's up, Will?
Cal sits in an old comfortable chair, Rex curled at her feet. In her hands is a worn copy of Fixin' Things, an issue she's read many times before. Still, she likes to keep her mind sharp. One of the kids steps into the room wearing an oversized flight jacket, sleeves rolled up. Metals clink with every step, a flight helmet bobs around their head.
Luke, I am your father.
Cal pauses just a second, then smiles.
Oh, I see you found my old boomer outfit.
And just like that, the Mojave came rushing back. After the thorn, Cal didn't trust her instincts anymore. She wanted structure, guidance. So she did something long overdue. She went to the NCR embassy. On the way, people were already talking about what happened on the west side.
Can't believe that the Thorn's no more. All hell broke loose when the creatures escaped from the Thorn.
They wondered how it could have happened.
One of those beasts cut my friend in half. How the hell did they escape from Red Lucy?
Cal didn't say anything. She didn't justify herself. She just let the remorse settle. Inside the embassy, Ambassador Crocker began speaking before Cal could even introduce herself.
I'm glad you could make it. I have something I wanted to discuss with you.
Crocker spoke about Hoover Dam, the pressure building, and the allies the NCR would need to survive what was coming.
To the northeast is a settlement. The locals here call them boomers. They are sitting on a munitions stockpile that would be invaluable to us. Unfortunately, the boomers keep to themselves and are hostile to all outsiders.
He asked Cal to go to Nellis.
Do whatever it takes to convince them to help us.
Cal agreed, not for politics, for direction. Outside boomer territory, a man stepped into Cal's path.
Whoa there, pal. You better slow down, or you'll get blown up like the rest of the idiots who thought they'd scavenge in boomer territory. There are a bunch of artillery-slinging, grenade-lobbing odd jobs camping out in Nellis.
He offered her a way through for a wager, but Cal preferred to make her own odds. She declined. And when she stepped into the outer perimeter, the world exploded. Missile after missile tore into ruined houses and broken concrete. But Cal moved deliberately. She listened for the gaps, then moved. One wall, then the next, until finally, the gate.
Hold it right there! Don't you move! How the hell did you survive that bombardment?
Cal started to explain she hadn't come to fight, but before she could finish...
I'll take this from here. Mother Pearl wishes to speak to you. She said this day would come, and that any savage to reach our gates should be brought to her.
Cal followed Raquel to meet Mother Pearl.
Welcome, child. Took your sweet time getting here, didn't you?
Pearl spoke of how long the boomers had kept themselves secluded, of the trouble stirring beyond their gates, and the need to let a little of the outside world in.
You're that little bit of the world, child. Welcome to Nellis.
She gave Cal free access in exchange for simply talking with her people. The first person she spoke with was Loyal. He was wary of an outsider walking freely through Nellis. Cal assured him she was only there to help.
If that's so, how about you look into repairing the solar arrays on the roof of the generator building?
Cal jumped at the chance. She didn't have to kill anything. She only had to fix something. She went to work on the failing array, quickly finding the problem. She cleaned and polished the photovoltaic cells, rewired brittle circuits, replaced what she could, reinforced what she couldn't. The work felt good. The knowledge came naturally, muscle memory from a forgotten life she had loved. A wraith stirred in her for a place she could never return to. And for a moment, anger rose. Benny, the man who took her past and tried to kill her twice. He was still out there, unaccounted for. She could go after him and settle it. Then she remembered the thorn, the children, the screaming, the blood. She took a breath and went back to work. The array's efficiency climbed, fast. Jack was the next person Cal offered to help.
What I could use is some scrap metal.
That part was easy. Cass was always picking up things Cal thought was unnecessary. She had plenty. But Jack hesitated. There was something else.
I guess you'd call it a personal matter, but, forget it.
Cal didn't let him. It turned out Jack had been watching a red-haired girl at the Crimson Caravan outpost through binoculars. He thought she might be watching him back. Cal agreed to talk to her. At the very least, the girl deserved to know.
Are you talking about that nice-looking blonde boy? I always wondered if he was watching me back.
Janet wanted to meet Jack immediately, but she was under contract. She didn't think Alice McLafferty would pay her if she left. Cal again felt her anger rise. Another person being squeezed dry by the same company that ruined Cass. Cal wanted to make it personal, but she remembered her promise to Ranger Jackson, no revenge. So she did it the proper way and was able to persuade her.
Janet will be paid what she's owed.
With Pearl's permission, Cal brought Janet to Nellis. She didn't stay long. She just watched from a distance as Jack and Janet finally met.
Hey, it's really great to finally meet you.
Hi, my name's Janet. What's your name?
And for the first time in a while, doing good felt uncomplicated. Outside, Cal spotted the Boomer Museum and stepped in.
You're the outsider. Mother Pearl sent word that you'd be stopping by. I'm Pete, keeper of the story. I know I seem kind of young, but old Keeper Don, well, whiskey and landmines don't go together.
Cal gave Cass a subtle, wry smirk.
Whoa, why are you leaning in all of a sudden?
Pete eagerly shared the story of his people, from life in a vault to the airbase they now called home. They had survived by keeping the outside world at a distance. But their greatest calling, Pete said, still lay ahead.
To fly the open skies in armored safety, raining high explosive ordnance upon ignorant savages. This is our destiny.
Cal returned to Mother Pearl.
You have done well to earn the trust of my people, child. I believe the time has come for you to show your value in full.
Cal already knew what it was. Pete had hinted at it. Loyal confirmed as much when she talked to him.
Pearl sent word saying it's all right to tell you about the lady in the water.
An intact bomber lay at the bottom of Lake Mead.
Since I was a young man, I've dreamed of raising that lady from the lake and bringing her back to life.
No way Cal was turning this down. It pulled every lever of awesomeness she had inside her.
Good. Here's the deployable ballast. Go find the plane, attach the ballast, and hit the button. Here is a remote detonator.
There was just one problem. Breathing. Loyal suggested Jack, who was close to finishing a rebreather, but he was missing parts. Once again, Cal's instincts from a forgotten past guided her. Corn silk, rubber hose, and removable adhesive.
That's a brilliant idea. I can put that together right now. Here you go. A new rebreather.
And just like that, Cal, Cass, and Rex set out for Lake Mead. Along the way, a rarity happened. Nothing. When they reached the lake, Cal stepped into the bait shop for supplies. Inside, giant rats. She readied her shotgun, but no hiss, no charge, no attack. They simply watched her. Cal left them alone. She took what she needed and walked out. It felt good. For once, she moved through the wasteland without leaving death behind her. Outside, she put on the rebreather and went under. The bomber was there. Cal attached a ballast, returned to shore, and triggered the detonator. And the bomber rose. No blood, no chaos, just success. And that made her nervous. But she started the long walk back to Nellis. And again, the Mojave didn't fight her. No Cazadors, no Deathclaws, no fiends or powdergangers. Just the desert wind. Quiet. For so long, Cal had thought of the Mojave as a machine built to punish her. But she had forgotten the beauty in its stillness, reawaking her biophilia. She finally understood what this place could be, and that it was worth protecting. Back at Nellis, Cal shared the good news.
That's tremendous. I'll transmit instructions to the robots to start packing up the plane to bring it back to Nellis.
What you have done for us is a miracle, child. You have fulfilled the only dreams we ever had outside our walls.
Cal asked if they would assist in the coming battle at Hoover Dam. Pearl agreed, saying the kids would be eager to move beyond just simulations. And Cal had done it. She hadn't forced them, she hadn't spilled blood. She had earned their trust, and she wouldn't break it. Back in Ambassador Crocker's office, Cal was careful with her words. She said the Boomers had agreed to help her, which for now worked in the NCR's favor.
Excellent work. I can't tell you how useful that will be. In any event, I have another assignment ready and waiting for you. But we can speak of it later.
Cal would take it, but not tonight. Tonight, she just wanted to enjoy the win. She looked at Cass.
Sure could use a drink.
Cal smiled. Me too, Cass. Me too.
Me too, Cass. Me 3. Will's feedback is always...
So I only caught
so
one of
darn
his
amazing.
vocabulary words.
Oh, yeah. What was it this week?
Biophilia.
Let's go back and look at his email. But let's see. Biophilia. Okay. Do you have an idea of its meaning?
An innate genetic human tendency to seek connection with nature and living systems.
Yes. Will has it as the love or empathy with nature and all living things. Biophilia. Instead of a phobia, it's a philia. Yeah. So loving and bio. Yep. Biology, love, life. Yep. And the other one, I did not catch. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Hiraeth. Hiraeth. I don't even know. I didn't catch it. A deep longing for something, especially one's home. Let's hang on, everybody. Let's go to what did he say? I have to. Gosh, this is such a weird word. It looks like Gaelic or something. Let's take a listen. See what this says.
Hiraeth.
Especially in the context of Wales or Welsh culture. That's why I said, did you hear me say it looks like Gaelic or something?
Yep.
It says a deep longing for something, especially one's home, especially in the context of Wales or Welsh culture. That's funny. I could not begin to put into words the Hiraeth. It's such, God, that's such a weird word, that the Welsh feel for the mountains and valleys of their homeland. Hiraeth. Wow, strange word. Very cool. Thank you, Will. So, biophilia and Hiraeth. Great. Good. Perfect. All right. That's our feedback for this week, you guys. Amazing as always. Thanks so much to Will, Vanessa, Jeff, Dustin, Nikki, and Calm Horizons, the Shoveler, John, Lee, and Mr. Solior. All right, let's roll into a little bit of a game. What do you say we play game time?
What time is it? Game time!
All right, there's only one person to play here, so Ray, we're just going to have you bounce it off yourself.
All right,
Let's do some Mojappy Latchy.
Favorite.
We've actually already mentioned the subject. It came up a couple times. We're talking snow globes of Fallout New Vegas. So where are the snow globes in Fallout New Vegas? Where are they located? So which is further north? We got one at the test site and one at the Strip. Which is further north, the test site or the Strip snow globe?
The Strip.
Oh, I've got the test site just slightly further.
The test site is at Lucky 38.
I don't know. I'm just looking at the stupid map. All right, I'll count you right. Further south.
Oh, no. Okay. I got it. Because I have the city flipped. I always mix up Vegas. So when you come into Freeside, you're on the north side, and you go south into the Strip.
Right. Yeah, I always think you're going south and heading north into the city, too. Yeah.
Yeah, nope. So it's, so Lucky 38, and then down further into the Strip is the Strip.
The Strip.
At Vault 21.
It's at 21? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so further south, do you have Hoover Dam or Good Springs?
Oof, so I'm going to say Good Springs.
Good Springs is just a nudge little bit further south than the Hoover Dam. I always think of the Hoover Dam tucked up in the northeast corner. It is not anywhere close to the north side of the map.
No, it's just right by Boulder City.
Yeah. Further east, Ray, do we have Nellis Air Force Base or the Mormon Fort? The Mormon Fort or Nellis?
I'm going to go Nellis.
Nellis is further east. Good job. And last but not least, further west, do we have Good Springs or Mount Charleston?
Oh, I'm going to go Mount Charleston.
Charleston is indeed further west. Good job, Ray. And if you notice anything about these snow globes, it seems the furthest south they go is about Good Springs and Hoover Dam. Do they go further south than that? Why are they not? There's like nothing on the southern half of the map, it seems. There's no Novak, no like, hey, look, we're at a snow globe of people being crucified.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to have one at Cottonwood Cove, maybe.
Yeah, there's just no touristy places down at the southern half of the map.
Yeah. Searchlight is not really. Yeah, so I think it's just. I think that's just it.
The less touristy regions. Well, good job, Ray. That was our edition of Game Time this week.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
All right, so here we got a little bit of Iguana Bit.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office.
Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up.
All right, Jess, what are we eating this week? Oh, wait. Really? That's very interesting. Yes, I like that news, too. Oh, perfect. See, we're going to have her substitute her news in later. But seriously, we'll revisit that Jess won a awesome poker tournament for charity, giving what'd you say, $1,400, something like that, to a local food bank. So we just couldn't be more proud of our lady Jess and all the good, seriously good, like with a capital G, good work she does. It's not just good work, but actually good work. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, God bless her. Hope she's having a wonderful time in Helvetia at the real Fashnacht. And, hopefully she gets a fun papier-mâché mask full of wonderful parade robot drink. Great. Get a piece of cheese, right? Some wax, build a candle. Ooh.
Yeah,
make a
candles,
candle.
yep.
Super duper fun. All right.
Yeah. I have to imagine. I mean, that it seems like a little town that could very easily, learn to capitalize on, the features from the game to be able to, cater to the extra tourists that come in for Fashnacht now. They've had a few years to get used to them.
Yeah. I hope they can, take advantage and make a solid profit and a representation of their community and the traditions and everything. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And, it's become one of the Fallout checklist of places. Like, what if you go on a Fallout road trip, where are you hitting now? Like, you're going to go to Boston, you're going to go to Washington, D.C., you're going to go to Las Vegas, you'll hit the Los Angeles area, Anchorage, Alaska, but now you got to stop at 12 different towns in West Virginia too, It's not just one town like all the other games. You got to go to Harper's Ferry, which is on the other fucking side of the state from Helvetia, which is on the other side. Yeah, so all sorts of places to go visit. Hey, Ray, do you have any other topics you'd like to bring up on the show this evening?
I think I'm good.
All right. In that case, I will let everyone know you can find Ray and all of his many projects at Ray LB. Also, check out his No Man's Sky show at BBC ISSS. And he's also on at a Skyrim Addict. Everyone, check those things out. Ray, thanks so much for hopping on, sir.
Good times.
I will remind everyone of Jess's stuff. All of her info can be found at sleepisfortea. See if she posts some cool pictures from this weekend. Check them out. And I tend to hang out in the Facebook group. And Ray, Jess, and I also like to dabble over there in that Discord. Make sure you sign up, especially if you want to send us in some feedback and join in the fun. People like to post some pictures in there. So if you're interested in seeing any of the characters people are talking about on their adventures here, join up on the Discord. Head on over and scope them out. All right. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout feed, and we will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Not every outsider needs to be blown up.
Might have just been
bombs.
two. No bombs. Boom! Giant explosion. Eddie has been killed, and you have failed Eddie's mission.
Eddie
Yeah.
And Veronica has been killed, and you failed Veronica's mission.
Get a job.
All the ants are dead.
It pulled every lever of awesomeness she had inside her.
Qualified success.
The science is sound. Don't look into it.
Luke, I am your father.
How big is this tent?
Pretty big. Pretty big. It's a big tent.
To fly the open skies in armored safety, raining high explosive ordnance upon ignorant savages.